Start by telling me how you came to start up this firm and why you chose this path.
Okay. Well, it's a little bit of a long story. You want the... Okay. So my undergrad is in public relations, and after I did my PR degree, I had some work experience here and there doing different things, and then I decided to go into law school. When I was in law school, I met a great friend who is now my business partner, and we, by a matter of absolute fluke, happened to article together at the same firm among 40 applicants. We landed the job together. We worked together in certain terms we expressed that we were interested in Aboriginal law and marine law and hoped to do something together with those, whether it be at the firm or on our own in the future. And so after articling, we went off on our own and called ourselves mobile lawyers. So that meant that we worked out of our homes to start because that was the most economical way to do things. So we did a lot of things based on how we saw the profession evolving and actually how we thought the profession was deteriorating or suffering in some ways. And we talked a lot about how we might do that in a different way. And so that's what we set out to do. In September of 2013, we opened our little firm, and we originally started as sort of general practitioners doing a lot of small business work, but today we are more or less where we want to be as an Aboriginal marine boutique firm.
You place a premium on collaborating with other professionals. Why is that important to you?
Well, as young lawyers, we, especially now on our own, we miss out on a lot of the important, pieces that we would otherwise gain from the mentorship opportunities in a bigger firm environment. And so one of the important pieces of going out on our own was that we'd establish these wonderful friendships, lifelong colleagues, and mentorship opportunities with the firm that we articled with. Our relationship was really positive, so far as they offered us office space to come if we wanted to, and it was just such a good relationship, and out of that has grown some really strong mentorship opportunities. As one lawyer, and with my partner, and we have admin people on staff here and there, and once in a while the odd researcher, but we haven't grown, we intend to grow to a number of associates sometime in the future, but we take it as it comes. So as just two lawyers, in the meantime, with these two areas of specific interest, we realize that we have weaknesses. Sometimes we'll bring in a litigation specialist to work with us on a file where litigation is a component of an otherwise marine-focused file where we need a little bit more of that expertise, tax lawyers, everything else. So we have a great network of professionals, and we found that a lot of lawyers in the profession have been really willing to work with us in that way. And it seems like a no-brainer, but it's sort of a real innovation from where the industry was 10 years ago, as far as I can tell. When we started out, one of the key pieces that the way we branded ourselves was as mobile lawyers, and it wasn't just about traveling to our clients, which we do. We now have an office space, but we still travel to our clients. We meet on weekends, we meet at flexible times. The idea was that we wanted to meet our clients where they were. And whether that was, in some cases, monetarily, physically, based on time constraints, we wanted to make it so that our services, without running ourselves down, were accessible to our clients when they needed it and how they needed it. So sometimes, when I'm working with a new entrepreneur, for example, or a better example is a more seasoned entrepreneur, instead of saying, okay, you need some contracts drafted for your business, give me that problem, I'll come back to you in a month with a bill and some contracts. I say, what kind of issues have you seen come up in the last little while? What are some of your concerns? I'll let them do a certain amount of the work rather than me just hitting the pavement trying to figure out the automobile industry or the mechanics industry, what are some of the liabilities of a mechanic. If my client can tell me these things, then I can work with the client to find a solution. And so at the end of the day, you get a bill that instead of this, it's like this, and the client feels like they've been involved throughout the process. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and some clients prefer to just hand it over. But I like to make it a little bit more accessible in that way, at least for some of the small businesses and entrepreneurs who are experts in their own field.